hazardous. She's only 17, made us curious. It was a carefree time. How about we jump back and rewind? We were living on Winger and a prayer, just garbage pail kids with mullets and big hair. Let's open up another pack. Gen X wants their future back. Break out the denim jackets and faded band patches. Share memories, Polaroid captured. It's the Gen X marks, the spot portraits.
You know, they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But today, we are blowing that wide open because what's been happening in Vegas is too good to keep a secret. Welcome everyone to the Gen X Marks the Spot podcast. I am your host, Gen X Joe, and we are in the Wherever I May Roam studio. My guest this week is a man who has been tearing up the stages across the country. He's been playing iconic rooms like the Whisky A Go-Go and the House of Blues in Vegas. And he has even shared stages with legends like Slash, Lita Ford, Joan Jett, and Phil X. But those are some hefty names in the music business. And Jeff Carlson, hopefully in the near future, you will be hearing his name as well. He is a Las Vegas-based rock musician. And he's not in Las Vegas because he loves slot machines and not because he's got a residency at the Bellagio, but because the grind is real, the dream is bigger, and this man is not done yet. In today's episode, we are going to be talking to Jeff about his acoustic rock show and his band Liquid Sky and their new album that's going to be coming up here in just a few months. And Jeff, he is not just a musician. He is a survivor and a warrior. He is a voice for Crohn's disease awareness. And he knows firsthand that the toughest battles aren't always fought on the stage. It's behind the scenes where those battles are won. So get ready when two Gen Xers get together to talk 80s rock. So put up your lighters for my guest this week, Jeff Carlson.
Well, there are bands that are so iconic. I think that if you're going to retire. But if you do come out of retirement and you got, say, 4/5 or 3/5 of the band, let's do it. But,
yeah, I totally agree.
When you have Twisted Sister and you only have 2/5 and Dee's not there, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that.
Well, I'm with you because, and they're stuck because I don't think they could get away with calling it Twisted Sister if they didn't have somebody already established. Or Dee's son, one of the two, because you got to have it, centered around something that's going to draw.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I went to see Foreigner last night, man, and they put on one hell of a great show, man. They really do.
Were they with Skinner or were they alone?
No, they were alone. They did this. They're doing this Las Vegas residency at the Venetian right now, and my buddy Kyle, he's a drum tech. He got me some comps. My wife and daughter and I went to see him, and they did it with an orchestra behind them, and it was killer, man. It was awesome.
Oh, well, I just had Jeff Pilson as a guest a few weeks back. And,
I love him. He's awesome. What a great talent that guy is.
Oh, phenomenal. And he was more promoting Black Swan, his band.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but we were more or less got into the whole Foreigner aspect, and now he's the band's leader now that Kelly is no longer with them. So it was a good conversation.
Yeah, and Luis, the new singer, is really, really good. He's a great guitar player too, man. I mean, that whole band is so talented. I mean, they really are. And Lou Gramm came out and introduced the show, and then he sang the very last song, Hot Blooded, with him last night, and that was cool to see, I mean, he's getting up there too, and it's like, I get why they're doing it with the members they have, because the songs, to deliver them, correctly with that type of intensity, you got to have younger guys pull it off and keep the name going forward because, you know, Mick and Lou are, God, they're in their 70s by now, I think, you know.
Yeah, and Mick got Parkinson, and he's not able to play much.
No, it's sad, man. I think, doesn't Glenn Tipton have it too?
I'm not sure.
I think so. I think he's in pretty bad shape too. Juice Priest, yeah.
That's a shame.
I know. Yeah, those guys are awesome too, man.
Well, I saw Lou 2 years ago on the Party Garage tour with Bret Michaels. And
oh, wow.
Listen, you know, I did not know what to expect. And he killed it. He absolutely killed 4 or 5 song set that he had.
That's awesome. I got mad respect for that. Well, him in his prime is pretty tough to beat. You know, even the guy, even Kelly and Luis, they did a great job. But something about Lou in his prime, man, you're tough. You're hard pressed to beat that because he was just I guess the tone and everything he had and the soul he had was, wow. You know, there's a reason those songs stand the test of time. You know.
Oh, agreed. And you know, with Lou, and then you have Steve Perry from Journey, of course. Those were the heart and soul of rock and roll, not hair metal, not heavy metal, but rock and roll in the 80s.
Absolutely. Let's not forget Brad Delp.
Oh, with Boston. God rest his soul, man.
I know, man. I know. Those guys were inhuman, man. I don't know how they did what they did so well, but they did it, man. They were unbelievable.
Well, you know, I loved Brad in his last band, RTZ. I believe that's what it was called.
Huh. I didn't know. I didn't hear about that one.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Yeah, it was a great band and had that Boston vibe. You have to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But I will say this, Arnell does a pretty spot-on job vocally covering Steve Perry. I got to give him props, you know.
Oh, he's tremendous, but I got to admit I was a little worried if he was actually going to be fronting Journey for a while.
Yeah, I know. I wish he grows hair back out.
Right?
It's like, dude, either color it or grow it out. One of the two. No.
I like the gray look on him. And hey, speaking of a new look, have you seen Phil Lewis of LA Guns? He cut his hair and he went gray.
No, I have not. Coverdale did too, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like,
he's not outperforming, of course, but I mean, Phil of LA Guns, he's pulling that look off, man. Like,
good for him, dude. That's awesome.
He's pulling it off really well.
Well, if you can pull it off, more power to you. You know, John Bon Jovi still looks good, but his voice is still trash, dude. There's just I don't think there's any coming back from that surgery 100%.
No.
You know, it's a shame. It's a shame because he was great in his prime too, you know.
Well, this is going back, I think, the This House Is Not For Sale tour, however many years ago.
Right.
And Dave on keyboards had to finish at least 6 songs out in the set list to end the show. John couldn't even pull it off. Yeah.
Wow. Well, to talk about needing Richie, man. Whoa.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah, I'm still hoping he comes back. If they're going to do any type of a farewell, bring Richie back. Yeah. I mean, I say, just even if you have the same band with Phil X in it, bring Richie back. Who cares, you know? Agreed.
But, you know, it's that way you're not slighting anybody, and you know, it isn't like he doesn't have the money to pay him, you know. So I'm like, you know what? People want to see Richie, man. You know, they just do. I mean, it's nothing. It's not a slight to Phil X. He's amazing. I've actually opened for him once. He was actually really cool. But I mean, and he's a hell of a talent. He really is. But you know, that foundation was built on Richie and John. You know, so it's pretty tough to replace that.
Even with other bands, Aerosmith and Motley Crue, you know, I get torn is my problem. You know, Am I excited that they're coming back after their farewell tours? 100%. But then I get to thinking like, oh, they lied to the fans. Is this a
No.
money grab or?
Especially Motley.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel bad for Alice Cooper. He killed him off.
I know, right? Exactly. Yeah, Alice just did a show with Chris Angel out here last night, man. It was killer, I guess, from what I understand.
Well, we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do as a family to see Alice Cooper. If this is his last year performing, I am shocked beyond belief that there is no Pittsburgh dates for Alice Cooper.
Yeah, because he tours pretty extensively, man, and I am too. Wow.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but Alice Cooper has some deep roots in southwestern PA from where I'm at.
He had roots in Detroit, and he grew up in Phoenix, so I knew that, but I did not know about it.
Well, his grandparents were ministers in Fayette County, Pennsylvania, where I actually grew up. And
wow, cool.
In a little town called Smock, Pennsylvania, which is really a football throw away from where I grew up at.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he had spent many summers visiting his grandparents in Pennsylvania, and I believe it was 1, maybe 2 years he actually went to school in what is called Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
Interesting. Wow. Cool.
And
man.
He also has roots to the French and Indian War, believe it or not. I don't know what generation of a cousin or an uncle, I can't remember how the relationship is, but our county is named after Alice Cooper's relative who fought in the French and Indian War.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and if you read his autobiography, he actually talks all about that in there.
Huh. That's really great. That's really cool. I got to meet him one time. I opened for his son's band in Tucson, and he was there. And him and I started talking about the Muppet Show when he was on it in the 70s. And I'm like, he goes, yeah, the hardest thing to think is after a while you start talking to these things and you think that they're real people after a while.
That's great.
Yeah, he was cool as hell, man. Him and his wife both are awesome. Nice people. Really are.
We've already established a lot of great bands and acts that you opened up for. Let's talk about you now.
Okay.
How are things going right now? I know the concert season's starting to pick up, and I'm sure you got a lot of shows scheduled. But let's go all the way back to your childhood. From what I understand, around the age of 4 or 5, you were like, damn it, I'm going to be a rock star.
Yeah, that happened when I met Jim Dandy Mangrum from Black Oak, Arkansas. My mom took me to see Kiss when I was 4, and I was a little bit too young to understand what was going on, but I thought it was cool. And then that was on the Alive tour in 75. And then 77, she took me to see Black Oak, Arkansas, and I got to meet Jim Dandy, the lead singer, Jim Dandy Mangrum. And he was just awesome, man. He was so cool. We got pictures with him and everything. And I think there was like a switch that went off internally that went, wow, that guy's so cool. I want to be like that, you know? And between that and Kiss, those two things, man, they were everything to me from all the way up till now, you know, but especially as a little kid, because every square inch of my bedroom had a Kiss poster on it, man. That's all I cared about was Kiss. I wanted to be Paul Stanley or an astronaut when I was in the 2nd grade.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't want to be Space Ace if you wanted to be an astronaut.
You know, it's funny. I dressed up as both of them for different years of Halloween. I loved Ace. Him and Paul were always kind of even to me. But once I started getting into singing, I gravitated more towards Paul because my voice is similar to his tonality wise, you know, as far as, you know, just how I'm built, you know.
Well, I'll tell you this. I personally think the 2 Kiss members that had the most talent of all was Ace and Peter.
Yeah, Gene's underrated. I think he's one of the best bass players that when he actually you know, if you listen to some of the early stuff, he walks a lot. There's a lot of walking bass lines, and he plays to the song. And believe it or not, his vocal range is amazing. He got stuck in that pattern, you know, that pigeonhole of being the demon, and he kind of branched out a little bit on his solo record, his first one in '78. But Peter and Ace are amazing. They never get the credit they deserved, I don't think, until, you know, later on, maybe even, I don't know. But yeah, I agree, man. They are, especially Peter, because he came from, you know, jazz drumming with Gene Krupa type stuff, you know, and his swing added a lot of dynamic and you know, layering to their sound, you know, more than he got credit for, I think. Especially on songs like 100,000 Years, when he's got this really cool swing beat to it, you know.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best Kiss songs that's out there. You know, I hate mentioning Beth, but oh man, you know.
Well, I always like Peter's voice, man. I thought his voice was killer. And you know, I've met all four of them, and the nicest one out of all of them is Peter. He's dynamite, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Hard Luck Woman, you know, just one of those songs that he can capture, you know, that blues, that country vibe, that rock vibe, that soul vibe.
Yeah,
totally. I love that.
Absolutely. Well, even on the earlier stuff like Mainline and, you know, Getaway, you know, off Hotter Than Hell and Dressed to Kill, those are great songs, man. His vocals are cool as hell. I always loved Peter's voice.
And how about Nothing to Lose?
Oh, that's a great song. Yeah. Another one I really liked was Baby Driver was cool on Rock and Roll Over. Hooligan was actually kind of cool too on Love Gun, you know. But yeah, no, they were in a class all by themselves for so long, man, you know. And if you talk to Sebastian, he'll tell you how much of a huge Kiss fan he is. He just, you know, he's a diehard, man.
Well, who knows? Maybe Kiss will come out of retirement and either Gene or Paul will not want to do it, and there you go. There's your next lead singer for Kiss.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That sounds like a round peg in a square hole, or square peg in a round hole, whatever. You know, his voice doesn't really, I don't know. He'd probably sound okay on it, but it depends on the song, you know?
Well, hey, if he can pull it off on The Masked Singer, he can do anything.
Well, that's true. I'm not knocking him. I mean, I think he's an amazing singer. I'm just saying, you know, you gotta have that tone, man.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's why nobody can replace him, really. Eric Gronwald did a great job, but vocally, he's tough to beat, man. He's amazing what he does, you know.
Oh, no doubt. But how about the contest that Skid Row has going on right now?
I saw that. There's a lot of great singers out there.
You know, there was a girl, and I had her name on the tip of my tongue. She was from, I believe, Texas, like 22 years old. And from all the performances I've seen, whether it was male or female, she blew everybody out of the water.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to look for that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. She nailed a couple of the songs, and I just thought, like, this girl got it.
That's awesome. Lizzie Hale did a pretty good job.
Yes. Yes.
But Eric Gronwald was vocally, I think, the closest one that I've heard them actually that replaced him. You know, Johnny was good, but that's a shame he passed away, man.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're recording the new record right now. Me and Robbie are, and we're almost done. Like I said, like I was telling you before, we're going to be doing Under Liquid Sky, that name. But I'm still doing my acoustic solo shows, which would be they're a lot of fun. You make more money as a solo acoustic. But hey, man, you know, it's a building process, you know.
Oh, you know, from what I've been hearing from so many acts, like the touring scene, it's just so expensive anymore.
Oh, dude, it's stupid. It's so, I mean, I did my U.S. tour at 22, and I lost thousands, because it's just not only, I mean, we were in hotels every night, and there's a lot to go into it, but the problem is promotion. That's why it's so important to have a name that draws, because if you don't make it back, you'll just lose. You'll lose money. It's like throwing it in a dark hole, I mean, I did okay, but it wasn't what. I mean, I was hoping it could have done a lot better, but you live and learn, and eventually when you do get in a position again, you learn mistakes, what not to do,
Yeah. So you're just kind of touring out on the West Coast or Central Coast? There's a Central Coast. Of course there's a Central Coast, right?
Yeah, right. That's funny. No, I'm basically in Vegas and northern Arizona. I would do shows out in Cali, but those are hard rooms to get into. A lot of them are. It depends on the show. Usually you end up losing money in Cali, like when you play places like the Whisky a Go-Go, because that's a pay to play, and I'm not doing those anymore because I just can't. I mean, nobody can afford it, not unless there was a big payoff somehow, I think it'll be cool once the new record's done and we start promoting it and really, because we're having Chipster PR and they're doing the new Triumph tour and Rush tour. So they're going to help push us too, which will be cool. But, until that, we're not there yet. We're almost there, but we're not quite there yet. So once that happens, I'll continue to do both the band and my own acoustic stuff too. So it's like I said, it's all going to go hand in hand and just kind of build stepping stone wise,
So what is the time frame for Liquid Sky?
We're looking at probably May or June, but let's see. So if we get, what is this, the end of March? Okay, so if we get the album done by mid-April, it'll probably be July. Sorry, it'll be a 3-month turnaround before they can get everything, get all the PR and everything finished on it. So yeah, we're looking at maybe July before we get it out.
And that'll be here before you know it.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I wanted to touch on is you are really good friends with the band Tesla, especially with Frank.
Yes.
And he thinks real highly of you from what I've been reading and so forth.
I'm very fortunate. Yes, I'm lucky that I have my friendship with Frank, and him and I have played together, and we've done a lot of cool stuff together in the past, and I'm just very blessed to know him. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, he's called you one of the most talented, undiscovered acts around.
I'm very lucky that way. Yeah.
I mean, what did that mean to you to hear that from someone at his level?
I've even told Frank this before, because him and I did a show in 2019 up in Placerville, where he lives, up in northern Cali, and it was a really cool private party thing, and we did a whole set of Tesla and everything, and I flew up to his place and we rehearsed in his garage and everything, and man, it was a dream come true for me. No, it wasn't Tesla, but it was him doing Tesla songs with his backup band and me singing, and that was a pinch me moment, man. That was like a bucket list moment, because it's just, if I would have told my 16-year-old self I'd be doing that someday, I would have, it would be just incredible, So I'm so fortunate and thankful that he allowed me to do that, So.
They seem so genuine. I mean, they
are. They're the real deal. They're not pretentious or anything. They're so cool, man. They're salt of the earth guys. They're awesome.
That's why they are one of my top 3 bands of all time.
Yeah, me too.
Now, if you don't mind, I kind of wanted to ask you about battling ulcerative colitis. It's a form of Crohn's. How are you doing with that?
Well, I've actually got Crohn's. They misdiagnosed me as having ulcerative colitis originally, but it's actually I've got Crohn's. I've learned to accept it, and I try to take care of myself as much as I possibly can. I go to my doctors, all the time to make sure there's, I've been through enough surgeries. I mean, I've had 7 surgeries so far since 2001, and I've been through enough to where I know if something's really wrong or something, or what it is. Thank God I'm okay, and it's just something I've learned to live with, and just learned to be, grateful. Just every day above ground's a good day, and really be more grateful than ever, as far as, not being on death's door, because I've been there, man, and it's a tough road. It really is.
How has that journey, having Crohn's, changed your relationship with the way you do music and perform?
Well, it paces you. Because I've got the ostomy, I've got an ileostomy on my left side, on gig days, I have to eat very sparingly, because you can't really control your output on it, unfortunately. So you have to be very mindful of, times you eat and how much you eat, but not let it be so little that you don't have enough energy to get through the night, So it's a balancing act. I've learned to adjust to get through it, without, going backwards. So.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you did write a song called Yesterday's Gone about your battle with Crohn's.
It's basically a self-sketch on where I'm at in my life, and being thankful for what I do have, and being thankful to God for being, for allowing me to keep going. Yesterday's Gone is about that. So is Over My Shoulder, actually, both of them.
Right, I did forget to mention that. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's all good, man.
What would you want fans who are dealing with their own health battles to take away from your story? I know we didn't touch on it a lot, but knowing what Crohn's is, or ulcerative colitis, I mean, it's not a pleasant disorder.
No, it's not. Faith does help. Believe what you want to believe, but I know what's helped me is faith in God, and really my wife has helped me more than anything, because she's taken care of me and really tried to help me, which has been amazing, and I'm so thankful for that. And make sure your doctors are, you're on top of where you're at and everything, and you're doing what they tell you to do. Music to me, is a flame that will never be extinguished, I don't think. Thank God. It almost did. My life almost ended a couple times, but I'm so thankful. And it kind of goes hand in hand with faith and belief, and just keep doing. Don't let your dreams die, man. Take care of yourself so you're able to do it.
With that, what does success look like for you in the next 5 years? Where do you want to be?
I'd love to be building my name up enough to where I can get into mid-sized level rooms and provide a good living, but yet not be unrealistic as far as, I don't think I'm going to, sell out arenas anytime soon or anything like that. It'd be great, but that's unrealistic. But for me, I'd love to be able to play House of Blues or venues like that I can make a decent living at and people enjoy what I'm doing. That's kind of what that looks like for me,
Finally, before we wrap up, your music, 80s style rock, maybe there's some 90s grunge mixed in with your shows. What do you want people to feel when they walk away from a Jeff Carlson or a Liquid Sky show?
That wow factor of, I've never seen this guy before, but man, they're killer. That right there, if I'm making an impression and people are enjoying what I'm doing and really into it and feeding off that back and forth with the crowd reaction, that's all I could really hope for. I don't have illusions of grandeur of being, something I'm not, but I know at the end of the day, I try to provide a really top-notch, fun, entertaining show that people will walk away going, well, that was really cool,
And as for your social media sites, let's let everyone know where they can find you at.
You can find Carlson Band on Facebook, Jeff Carlson Band on Instagram. I've also got my Jeff Carlson Acoustic Rock Show on Instagram. I'm on Twitter under Jeff Carlson Band, and I've got my website, jeffcarlsonband.com. Just so everybody knows, I'm doing my acoustic shows right now, and even though it says Jeff Carlson Band, when you pull up the band site, it'll be my acoustic shows listed basically for right now, because I'm not doing the name Jeff Carlson Band for a band right now at this point. So I'm doing Liquid Sky eventually here when we start, releasing everything, and that will be on all social media. And I'll let you know, Joe, when that happens and everything. I mean, we've got a Liquid Sky Facebook page and a Liquid Sky Instagram page right now, and a Liquid Sky Twitter page. But those are just waiting to when we release everything. At that point, we'll put some money behind PR on those pages to start the numbers up.
Hey, I'm going to wish you luck with Liquid Sky. I know we have a few more months to go before all that's ready to be out there. Can't wait to hear that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I think it'll be cool. We've got Robbie wrote a whole brand new album basically, and I came in and just and sang everything, and him and I are finishing up the last song or two right now on it, and it's going to be different. It's a little bit different than Jeff Carlson Band, but in the same vein, if that makes sense,
Oh yeah. So how would you describe the Liquid Sky?
It would be heavy but melodic, but my vocals are a little grittier than Jeff Carlson Band stuff. It's because I'm trying something new, branch out, not be stuck in one type of way of singing. I'm trying to do different things and see how it flies. I think it's got attitude, put it that way. It's really cool, man.
I love bands or singers with an attitude. So
yeah, absolutely, man. Well, Jeff, I appreciate you taking the time out today to talk with me. I couldn't be happier that we reconnected. Thank you, Joe, man. I appreciate it, brother. Good luck on the new name change, man. Oh yeah. Maybe Sebastian will be on my show after he finds out what the name of it is. Well, if you have him on, tell him to check my stuff out. Well, I've already been told a big old no. So. Oh, okay. Or I would do that, yeah. Yeah, right. It's all good, man. No worries. Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, so, I hear you, brother. No worries, man. All right, buddy. Well, hey, thanks for a great interview, and I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you kindly. You're welcome.
What a great interview. Jeff, I wish you nothing but the best of luck in the years to come to making all your dreams come true. Thank you so much for joining me today on the very last episode of Gen X Marks the Spot podcast. But listen, I am not going anywhere. After an electrifying run of 40 episodes featuring some of rock's most compelling voices and artists and bands, Gen X Marks the Spot is officially evolving. Here, within the next week or two, I will soon relaunch under a new name, the Youth Gone Mild podcast, signaling a bold new chapter in a journey that has exceeded every one of my expectations. What began as just an experiment, I don't want to say a whim, but something I have been wanting to do for a very long time because I just love music and I love the Gen X culture. And I had no clear roadmap at the time. And I gotta say, over the course of 40 episodes, I have welcomed an impressive roster of guests. From my very first guest, Stacey David Blades, formerly of LA Guns and the Rocks Gang, and now of the Rocket Mafia, all the way up to the very last guest here, Jeff Carlson. And I don't even know how to say thank you other than just know that I'm humbled that you were guests on my show. And you may be wondering why I'm rebranding Gen X Marks the Spot podcast. Well, it was originally intended to spotlight a broader amount of Gen X themes. But somehow the podcast just organically found its rhythm in conversations with rock artists. It wasn't a plan, but sometimes things fall into place better than you could ever imagine. The show has recently attracted an interest from newer and modern rock bands. So in order to grow, I realized I needed a new name and to rebrand myself because I had pigeonholed myself in that Gen X theme. So I look forward to all the new guests that are already booked and recorded and ready to be aired right here on the Youth Gone Mild podcast. And I am your host, Gen X Joe. Peace out. Props everyone for listening to the Gen X Marks the Spot podcast. And I hope that you enjoy the Youth Gone Mild podcast. Rock loud, live proud, everyone.